Hi, this is Graham Jeacocke. This video is generally for atheists, right? But specifically, it's it's more geared towards Alex O'Connor because here's a reasonable mind. He goes into debates because he clearly has faith. He has a reasonable mind to make the right decisions in life, the right to make people well informed about what to believe and what not to believe. So here's a little taster of what I think Alex should be able to talk about. Okay, right. A judge in law, okay? He's qualified, right? To question things. Now, perhaps atheists, despite their belief that they need evidence to question whether to believe in God or whether not to believe in God, that's not enough. Because if I was to observe a criminal in a court, my opinion of what I utter has no bearing whatsoever on that particular individual. It's the judge that gets to decide. Okay? Likewise, the thing with God. Evidence of God is meaningless because, quite frankly, we're not educated enough. We don't have a reasonable mind to equip ourselves, let alone others. Now, this question I want to say, okay? Alex O'Connor has studied theology, so he's more able to question what I've got to say. Others may have studied it, but I'm only informed about Alex. Now, Alex knows the story of the 10 lepers that were healed in the New Testament. 10 lepers, Jesus interacted with them, and 10 lepers were healed. 10 lepers left rejoicing. They left. Only one returned back to Jesus to thank him. So, my question is, should Jesus of a returned the state of those healed lepers back into lepers because they weren't grateful? Because I'm just thinking of Thanksgiving in America. Millions and millions of Americans are forced to do Thanksgiving. Now, what if we were to follow the example of Jesus in America, right? If 90% of America didn't celebrate Thanksgiving, would it be a crime in the loosest sense? Not a criminal. Would it be problematic, or is it just a tradition? Is there any point to Thanksgiving? Bearing in mind what happened with Jesus, right? Now, once again, I'm going to talk about Alex O'Connor. Alex O'Connor has a reasonable mind, right? Very intelligent, very knowledgeable, able to dart in and out of conversations with quick wit. But he's not married. He doesn't have children. So how does he answer these questions that bear no relation to him? But obviously, those groups of people are still human, right? And this question I'm going to talk about is when you have children, right, and they get to the dating age, right, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, right, the parents can have a very difficult time. Okay. Now, there's a lot of sexual inappropriateness in the workplace between adults. So there would be a lot of liars if people denied what I'm going to say next, if they didn't say it's going to be a problem, right? Because parents worry about the kind of boyfriend who would date their children, especially when it's a female, right? So let's, for example, take a Christian male, right? Let's say what age? Say 44. This guy is 44 years old, right? And you have a teenager, like 17 years old, okay? According to particular people, this is very problematic for some, right? But the interesting thing is the scriptures. What sets apart relationships from other relationships is what is in the scripture. Now, it is clear for anyone who has a reasonable mind, right? The scientific method is to test it. That's the only way to say, well, this has the plausibility and possibility of being good. Now, it's clear that it's casual sex for a Christian is a no-no, okay? And masturbation, right, can be problematic because when you masturbate, you give in to your desires of what you want, right? You're not a good judge of character, right? So, if a Christian man with sincerity took what the scriptures said, okay, prayed to God, right, and he was miraculously healed, right? There was no need to give in to those needs, right? So he could assess with more clarity and without deception, right? Like an American Pie franchise of films, okay? When it comes to being with women, because he has a clear objective of what is wrong and what is right. So, my question is to Alex, do you think an atheist should be grateful? An atheist should be grateful, right, towards a Christian who understands the value of a woman, right? That he sacrifices himself to ensure that no harm will be given to that female. Now, Alex, do you think those atheist parents should be thankful like that one leper who was healed by Jesus? Right? And here comes the ultimate question from all this. Do you think those lepers deserved to stay healed? And going on from this, right? Do you think if an atheist woman rejects a good man looking out for the woman's interest, right? If she rejects that, okay, do you think that she should be expected to put up with whatever the alternative is in a man? Like Bob Dylan sang in the song, was it Silvio? I can't remember. Anyway, the line was, pay for your ticket and don't complain. So, should atheist women who reject a good man, right, pay for their ticket and don't complain about how an atheist man values them? Well, that's all I wanted to say. I hope it was clear. And if anyone wants to respond, good on them. Bye for now.